Namaste and welcome to Yoga Body. I'm Julie Hill. I help people eliminate pain and get back to doing the activities they love. Today we're going to dive into the hips, looking at some ways to release that ball and joint socket with a lot of range of motion that should be available, but sometimes when our tissues or muscles get tight in the back or in the front, it limits the range of motion we have. So today we'll really be growing our awareness for how our body's moving in the hip area and how to gain some more suppleness. I have some blankets set aside. You might want to grab onto those, and we'll need a space on a wall and the floor. When you're ready, go ahead and come onto your backs. We're going to be about a foot away from the wall, and we're going to be moving in a range of motion that's right for us today, knowing that that may be different for you than it is for me as it is for the next person. So please take what serves you. Don't make yourself go into anything. Just kind of explore and use this as just a way to kind of find out where you're at, and knowing that we change from day to day. So we'll go ahead and place ourselves about a foot from the wall and then lay down on our backs with the legs up the wall. And if you want to place a blanket or a pillow under your head or shoulders, please do so you're comfortable here. We're going to go ahead and just start out by allowing yourself to breathe and just letting yourself really surrender into the floor. And what I mean by that is on the exhales, feeling muscles relax and release into the floor and just feeling really supported. And then allow yourself to feel the weight of your leg bones. And maybe you can even kind of get a sense of where the leg bones go into the hip sockets. And just allow yourself to be very present to that space. Noticing if it feels a little bit tighter for you right now, or maybe it feels a little bit congested in there. Whatever it is for you, just start to notice that, and then let your awareness kind of feel the back of the pelvis or the hips on the floor and how they're weighted, if they're even or uneven. And then notice the back line of the body. Feel your lower back, and maybe it touches the floor, maybe it doesn't quite. And just allow that to be kind of relaxed there. We want to be aware of what currently is before we start to move, so we can keep it very much the same. And we'll come into this first release by crossing the left ankle over the right, coming into a supine figure 4 supported by the wall. When we do this, we'll just start to bend that left leg and let the ankle slide down the right leg as the right leg stays up on the wall. And the left foot could stop before or after the knee. And then from there, just notice if anything changed through the back line of the body. Did the hips shift a little? Is the lower back pressing into the mat now? And then adjust the foot back up to see if you can just keep it just how it was. Keeping our awareness there. And then again, focusing on feeling how the hips are laying on the mat. Keeping that weight just the same. Start to bend that right knee and let the foot slide down the wall. Allowing yourself just to be present to a release maybe you're feeling in that left hip, and perhaps you start to feel a desire to rock the pelvis up off the mat. If that's the case, just allow the right foot to slide back up the wall a little bit so the hips can remain evenly weighted and just as they were before. Really releasing through this left hip rather than tilting the pelvis. We'll stay here for a few breaths. In today's video, I'll be doing everything on the left side, so feel free to pause it and transfer over to the right, or play the whole video again doing the other side. But for purposes of this video and the length of time, we'll just keep moving through on the left side. And then slowly start to let that right leg go back up the wall. We're going to take the left knee and cross it tightly over the right. Letting the feet lift off the wall and go in opposite directions here, moving into whale's tails on our back. Taking the hands underneath the thighs. Again, watching how the back of the hips are laying on the mat and the back. We'll start to draw the thighs towards the chest, but keeping all of that back relaxed. Notice if the lower back wants to push down into the mat, and only draw the legs in to what allows the lower back to stay just at ease, just how it was before. No rocking or tilting with the hips lifting up, just keeping them relaxed on the mat as well. Shoulders here. Notice if the chin wants to lift up and let it stay relaxed, and breathe. When you're ready to release, you can stay here for a few more breaths. I encourage it. When you're ready to release, we'll go ahead and unravel the legs and draw them in towards our chest, and then just easy egg beaters. Letting the knees open away from each other and kind of circle around and meet up again, and then come in, opening up and circling around and meeting up again. Just really feeling the leg bones moving around in the hip sockets here. And then we're going to go ahead and move into a third position. So we'll scooch away from the wall a little bit. I'm going to reposition myself so you can still see me. You'll be on your back. Feet are going to be at least hip-width distance apart. And then from here, we'll go ahead and, again, just doing through the left side, we'll go ahead and scooch toe heel this left foot straight out to the side. And originally my heels were just kind of in arm's length, and my knees were bent, feet are on the mat. I'm laying on my back, and then toe heel that left foot out to the side, and then slowly with the hips just kind of staying just as they were. So without the left hip lifting up, let that left leg just kind of come down towards the floor slowly. And don't force the left hip down towards the mat. Just notice the desire for it to lift and just stay and breathe with that as that leg just kind of releases little by little. And then just make sure that the knee and the hip are in line. So toe heeling that foot over to the left a little bit more, maybe back a little bit. Just allowing that left leg to keep falling down towards the mat. Breathing into that release as we kind of move through this hip relationship with the leg a little differently. Instead of opening it up, we're kind of closing it here and opening through the back. Just an easy breath. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly lift that leg back up and then toe heel the left foot in. Then you can move to the other side all together with all three poses, or you can just allow yourself to stay here and let the legs just kind of sway back and forth. And then move on to the other side. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions about our practice, you can find it at www.yogabodylllc.com and contact me directly. I'm happy to answer any questions, or I'd love to hear your feedback. Namaste.